All right, let me ask you something. Your phone buzzes on the table, but it's not a text, it's a call. What's your gut reaction? Do you snatch it up, or do you kind of just stare at it, waiting for that sweet, sweet silence, only to text back a minute later, "Hey, what's up?" If that's you, you are so not alone.
You know, that sound, that unexpected ringtone, it can actually trigger a really physical response in us. It's like this little spike of adrenaline, maybe a tightness in your chest. It's a very real, very modern kind of anxiety that honestly millions of us share. I mean, that's it right there, isn't it? That's the feeling. It's not really about being rude or avoidant. It's all about that powerful wave of safety that hits you the second the ringing stops. So let's break down what's actually happening inside your brain in that moment. Okay, so the phone rings, and boom, your brain immediately goes on high alert. Whatever you were focused on, yeah, that's completely shattered.
And then the scramble begins, right? Oh, I'm busy, I'm in a meeting, my hands are full. Your internal monologue just goes into overdrive, trying to justify not picking up.
And then it stops. The demand for your immediate, undivided attention just vanishes.
And there it is, that incredible wave of calm. It's this weird feeling like you've just survived something, even though, let's be honest, nothing really happened.
So here's the most important part. This is not some kind of character flaw. It's a deeply rooted psychological pattern. And I promise, once you understand it, you're going to see this whole thing in a completely new light. For so long, this behavior has just been completely misunderstood. We get labeled as avoidant, antisocial, maybe even cold. But the truth is, it is so much more complex and, frankly, a lot more interesting than that.
So this is where we get to completely reframe the narrative. See, what people might see as rude is actually you being deliberate with your words. What seems antisocial is really just you being self-protective. You're not hiding, you're being intentional. And you're not cold, you're thoughtful. I really want you to let that sink in for a second. Your preference for texting, it isn't a sign that something's wrong with you. No way. It's a sign that your brain has adapted to communicate in the way that feels safest and most authentic for you.
Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty, the mechanics of it all. There are basically 3 core psychological drivers that explain exactly why a text can feel like a safe harbor and a phone call can feel like steering straight into a storm.
The first, and honestly probably the biggest reason, is our need for what psychologists call cognitive control. Think about it. A phone call is pure improv. It forces you to think on your feet, and that can feel incredibly vulnerable. Texting, on the other hand, well, texting gives you the power to be the writer, the editor, and the director of your own words. All that control really comes from the power of the pause. You see, texting is asynchronous. It has a built-in pause button that lets you be deliberate. You get to process what was said, draft the perfect reply, edit it for just the right tone, and then you send it with total confidence. It's all about choosing precision over pressure.
Next up, let's talk personality, especially introversion. Now, this isn't about being shy. It's about how you process information. Introverts generally think to speak, meaning we need to process our thoughts internally first. An unexpected phone call just short-circuits that whole process. It feels like a social ambush, demanding a response before you're ready.
You know, you can think of it like a social battery. For an introvert, a phone call is just a massive power drain. You have to focus completely, trying to interpret their tone, manage all the social cues, and come up with replies in real time. It's exhausting. Texting, by comparison, is a much, much lower energy way to connect. It helps you preserve that precious mental energy.
And the final piece of the puzzle is a really powerful one: evaluation apprehension. This is basically the fear of being judged. A phone call puts your entire performance under a microscope. Every little hesitation, every awkward pause, the confidence, or maybe the lack of confidence in your voice, it's all up for immediate interpretation. This is why that metaphor, a live performance with no safety net, is just so perfect. It completely captures that high-stakes pressure a phone call can create. Texting just strips all of that away. It boils the conversation down to just the words, and that creates a profound sense of emotional safety. So with all of this in mind, it is time to stop seeing this preference as some kind of weakness or a flaw. It's time to reframe it for what it truly is: a quiet superpower that actually points to a set of incredible personal strengths. Seriously, when you look at it this way, this preference shows you have some amazing qualities. It shows you communicate with real intention. It means you're protective of your own energy, that you value clarity and precision, and that you probably have a really rich inner world.
You see? You're self-aware, not antisocial. These aren't flaws, they're total assets.
Of course, this doesn't mean you should never pick up the phone again. So here are 2 super simple strategies. If you absolutely have to make a call you're dreading, just take 2 minutes and jot down a few bullet points. It gives your brain that structure and control it loves. And second, just be upfront about it. It's perfectly okay to tell someone, hey, I'm just better over text. Can we message about this?
So the next time you let a call go to voicemail, I want you to try something. Don't feel guilty. Instead, recognize it for what it is. It's a choice to engage on your own terms. It's a decision to communicate with thoughtfulness and with intention. And I want to leave you with this question to chew on. We live in a world that so often rewards the loudest, fastest voice in the room. But what about the power of a considered one? There's a really unique and incredible strength in a voice that takes its time, in a message that's crafted with care. So, what does that power look like to you?